evening, voters. Are you proud to live in a country, viewers, where an animal is being used to divide us? Are you proud to live in a country where a bleeding man is left to die while the police go and drop cattle to a shelter and then take a tea break? Are you proud to live in a country where leaders sound apologetic for the goons who resort to violence in the name of cow protection, but actually fail to even feed the cows on our streets, or even fail to protect the daughters of our country? Where attackers are let off on bail, garlanded and rewarded with jobs, but the families of victims of mob violence are harassed further in the name of cow smuggling. What we are seeing tonight, viewers, is just another sham. The police are telling us that action will be taken, that there will be no bias. Rajasthan government telling us that justice will be done. But how? How, I ask? Alwar, where this incident that has caught entire nation's attention right now, the same region in Rajasthan has seen 3 lynchings in just 1 year and 3 months. And if Pehlu Khan case had actually seen a proper action, viewers, do you think Akbar would be alive tonight? If we had seen proper justice done in the Dadri case in Uttar Pradesh 2 years ago, do you think Akbar would be alive tonight? If in every single case, which is more than 50 since this government came to power, the real culprits had been sent behind bars, and the victims' families would have been treated just as that, as victims' families, do you think this incident would have happened tonight? I don't know how we can be proud of such a country, but we can definitely bring about a change to make it a country that we love and we are proud of every single day and every single minute. And that is what I want to talk about tonight. How do we bring about that change? How do we end this mobocracy, as the Supreme Court calls it? How do we end this mob violence culture? That debate in just 2 minutes.
3 hours and 19 minutes. This is the total time taken by the Alwar police to cover a distance of 6 kilometers. This is how long they took to take a bleeding and critically injured victim of mob violence to the nearest hospital.
Police officers took the victim from the spot at around 1:20, and he was supposedly to be taken to the hospital, but that did not happen. The victim was brought to the hospital around 3:47, which is exactly 3 hours 6 minutes of delay.
So, what did they do for so long? Some locals claim the cops beat up the victim more. Others say they even took a tea break.
तो उनको कपड़े चेंज करके या उसके साथ खूब उसके साथ कम से कम 10-20-25 पट्टे भी दिए हैं, उसके साथ मारपीट भी की है, और फिर मोहन जी ने उनको मना किया जो कांस्टेबल मारपीट कर रहे थे।
गश्त का टाइम पे पुलिस की गाड़ी आई थी, चाय बना के मैंने घिसा दी और बारिश पड़ रही थी, मैं अपने वापसी यहाँ आ गया।
They of course first took the cows to the shelter further away from the hospital before attending to the dying man.
3:26 पे गौशाला पे पहुँच गए और वहाँ मेरे कर्मचारी से बात कराई, तो इन्होंने 3:26 पे गौशाला पहुँच के गायों को छोड़ दिया।
The doctor who declared Rakpar dead on arrival says that had he been brought a little earlier, Rakpar would have been alive today.
अगर वो घटनास्थल से तुरंत यहाँ अगर ले आते तो शायद कुछ पॉसिबिलिटीज होती उसको बचाने की।
Yet for Rajesh police force, it was a simple error of judgment.
थोड़ा सा there was been some error in judgment. हो सकता है कि वो घंटा, 1.5 घंटा, आधा घंटा, whatever little time, अभी तक तो we are not final about it, but हो सकता है अगर उस पर थोड़ी सी और we would have responded in a better manner, maybe ये इंसिडेंट would have been avoided.
हम तो यहाँ चाहा पुलिस सही जांच करे, जैसी सजा हमारा लू दी उनने ऐसी ही उन लू मिलनी चाहिए.
Mirror now asks, had there been a special law to tackle mob violence and lynchings, would incidents like this stop? Let's debate.
So good evening to our guest, Tehseen Poonawalla, who's actually gone to the Supreme Court for a series of these cases, is also pushing to bring in a law. Rohan Gupta of the Congress Party, Geeta Luthra, senior lawyer, will be with us shortly. Vineet Goenka, member of the Governing Council of CRIS, also member of the BJP. Sri Raj Nair, spokesperson of VHP, will be with us shortly, and former DCP Special Cell of Delhi Police, Mr. Ellen Rao. Mr. Vineet Goenka, please help me understand. What is a small error on judgment by a policeman who thinks it's more important to have a cup of tea, to take cows to the shelter before he takes a dying man to the hospital?
For any reason has no place in democracy. So let me start by saying it is condemnable. Number two, whether it is a policeman or any person on duty should have applied his mind. I think there is an inquiry being instituted. There is somebody who has been suspended. So let me not cast things which will not go into the right direction. Let the inquiry come out, what went wrong and what kind of direction should be given will be seen.
No, but that's what the cop is telling us. That's what the special DG is telling us. He's telling us that there was an error in judgment. He is telling us, he has confirmed that yes, there was a delay. Whether it was a 1 hour or 2 hours, we don't know. We of course know from the CCTV visuals and the timestamp on it that it took about 3 hours for them to take this man to the hospital. In between that, they took a break for chai, because the chai wala told us that. In between that, they went to the Gaushala to drop the precious cattle, because the Gaushala member told us that. So I don't know what you are waiting for the police to find out, but these are the facts, Mr. Goenka.
I heard you the first time when you told me, then I heard the second time when you told me. But there is an inquiry, there is a high-level committee which has been formed under the Home Secretary for seeing all the lynching cases. There is an inquiry, the local there in the Rajasthan itself been done. Let the inquiry come out. Let's not jump to this. Let me remind you about Pelu Khan, where 6 people were arrested, everybody made the same noise, and finally court released them, the accused, because they were not found guilty. So let us not
who killed Pelu Khan?
Let there be an inquiry.
Who killed Pelu Khan?
Why this smugglers?
Who killed Pelu Khan? Did he die of diabetes?
So those guys who were accused by the channels were at least not the people who were being convicted.
We didn't go and catch people and accuse them. We didn't go and catch them and accuse them. Your police caught these people and booked them in a hurry. No, sir. No, sir. Do not mislead my viewers right now, Mr. Vineet Goenka. I will tell my viewers exactly what happened in the Pelu Khan case.
Why are you misleading them?
Your police picked up random people.
Why do you want to jump the guns? Let there be a fair inquiry.
No, because in your pattern of investigation, you catch hold of wrong people, then you close the case and let them go, and at the end of the day, no justice has been done to Pelu Khan's family. Pelu Khan's family hasn't gotten justice till date. Why should I believe you that justice will be done to this man's family? Cow smuggler or no cow smuggler? Where is the proof? Where is the proof? Where is the proof he is a cow smuggler? Where is the proof he is a cow smuggler? Where is the proof he is a cow smuggler?
The guys were having tea.
You are sitting here and telling me that he is a cow smuggler. Where is the proof? Where is the proof?
So please understand, don't jump guns and don't lead the police. Hold on for a second.
Don't jump guns. It's been 1.5 years since Pelu Khan died. He was killed in cold blood. Nobody has been sent behind bars for that, and you are telling me not to jump the gun.
Incidences of police firing. Why are we not talking about this? Who are these?
In the Jharkhand case, the entire case has been overturned. People are out on bail, and you are telling me not to jump the gun.
Smugglers been arrested.
Who killed Aluddin in Jharkhand? Who killed Aluddin in Jharkhand? Your minister is going around garlanding murder accused people. Who killed Aluddin in Jharkhand?
Why are we not condemning these cow smugglers?
Who killed the
condemn these guys. Why are we not condemning people who attacked BSF Jawan?
That's not my job. Who killed the clerk? Who killed the clerk?
So these smugglers should be condemned.
Who killed the clerk?
Give justice to the smugglers.
Who killed the clerk? Who killed Alimuddin? Who has killed Pelu Khan? That is being investigated. Are you joking with me?
Why are we not condemning
3 years on, you don't know who killed the clerk.
Smugglers. Let us also compare.
Shocking.
See, let the police do the work. Why are we jumping on? They are doing the work. There is a high-level committee which has been formed. Let them do it. So at the same time, we should also condemn the smugglers who are breaking the law.
Condemn these smugglers? People are being killed in cold blood in the name of suspicion, and you want me to sit here and condemn smugglers?
But who are these? These are the people who are...
Why don't you sack the entire Rajasthan police that has failed in cracking down on smugglers? They're not smugglers. Show me the proof. Where is the proof they're smugglers? Where is the proof they're smugglers? You have zero proof to prove that these guys are smugglers. You have zero evidence. Show me one evidence.
Please do not
show me the evidence. Show me the evidence. Show me the evidence.
You had evidence of the people whom
I will tell you what has happened. This is for the people to understand.
So please
this man was picked up on suspicion. No. Don't teach me civility. Your police, your leaders have forgotten civility. Your police, your people have forgotten the civility. Don't you sit there and dare teach me civility.
They are not my police. They are police of the people. It is state. Madam, they are not my police. Neither BJP police.
Sir, I don't run that state. Your government does. Vasundhara Raje does. I am not the Home Minister of this country. Your party leader Rajnath Singh is. I am not. I am not the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Your party leader Yogi Adityanath is the leader of Uttar Pradesh. I am not the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Your party leader is the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Shocking.
Why do you think action will not be taken?
The Supreme Court is tired. The Supreme Court is tired of pulling you guys up, but you guys will not even move an inch. Now I'm going to go across to Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao, here is the pattern.
This is wrong statement from your side. This is your wrong statement, madam. We don't jump guns. We allow the police to work.
It's still a more correct statement than your statement, where you say that we are going to give justice.
Everybody jumped.
Which case of alleged cow vigilantism has justice been done? In which case of alleged cow vigilantism has justice been done? Tell me.
Let us complete the sentence so that the cows
in 4 years, in 4 years of your party's tenure at the center, condemnable. I give a damn about your condemnation. Tehseen Poonawalla. In how many cases have we seen conviction? Have we seen justice being done?
Use these kind of words for an elected government.
Zero. And of course, you can use any word for the executive government. The executive government is not. Please, Mr. Goenka, have some manners. I did not speak when you were speaking. Kindly let me speak now. We can use any language for the executive government. The last I checked, this was a democracy. And the last I checked, your union minister wanted to change this, the constitution of our country. That's still not happened, so please let me speak. Ma'am, I want to make a couple of points. The only reason Mr. Goenka is waxing eloquence about this high-level committee is because after my judgment, there was a contempt of court a day before yesterday. This morning, I rushed to the Honorable Supreme Court, where I named the Chief Secretary, the Home Secretary, and the DG Police in contempt of court. Because the Supreme Court has admitted my petition and said it is contempt and it will hear the contempt, these people are doing a drama. Point number one. Point number two, ma'am, I want to make a very pertinent point. Let's leave the cow vigilantism out. Let's talk about what Mr. Vinit Goenka is saying. 4 kilometers away from where mine and your Honorable Prime Minister stays, Narendra Modi ji, there's a man called Ravindra. He was lynched by a mob merely because Ravindra, a fan of Narendra Modi ji, a Swachh Bharat fan, was telling a group of youngsters, do not urinate. Go use the washroom. He was lynched and nothing happened. There was no justice given to even Ravindra, a Swachh Bharat union and a fan of Narendra Modi ji. The fact of the matter is, ma'am, the highest number of lynchings, more than cow lynchings, are about women. Women are termed as witches or sex workers, and the highest number of these lynchings in the last 3 years has happened in a state called Rajasthan. The highest number of lynchings, more than Muslims and Dalits, is of third gender people. They are called sex workers. For some reason, they are lynched. The highest number of lynchings in the last 1 year has happened in a state called Uttar Pradesh. None of these people have got justice. That's why the Honorable Supreme Court cracked down. And when Shashi Tharoor tried to introduce a bill Masuka, which, ma'am, I forwarded to you, and KTS Tulsi introduced it into the Rajya Sabha, a bill that the Supreme Court has vetted, 14 political parties have vetted and said this, we need this new law because it contains provisions to deal with the crime in today's day and age. It's gone to 14 political parties. The union government and the state government are simply not interested in getting solutions. Today they are acting because there's contempt of court on them, and Rajasthan's already in contempt of court the first time. So ma'am, this is not a Hindu-Muslim issue. Tomorrow you could be walking on the road. Somebody would brand you on the streets of Mumbai as a sex worker. I say this with due apology, ma'am, and you could be lynched, your sister could be lynched, my wife could be lynched, and we have nowhere to go. Not one conviction, ma'am. Forget the cow lynching in none of these cases,
conviction. Not one conviction. Since 2010, in NDA rule states, 57 incidents, 208 victims, number of deaths 25. In non-NDA rule states, 30 incidents versus 57, number of victims 81 versus 208, number of deaths 9 versus 25. Now you can just call them statistics, but this is the reality. And that is the reality. On your screens right now, viewers, these statistics. Mr. Goenka, you want to respond before I go to our other panelists?
Ma'am, this data has also come from the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh ji.
Any violence
question, just to put it in perspective.
Now, when I'm speaking, why are you speaking, gentlemen? You were teaching me what is ethics,
I
right?
apologize. I just was putting it in perspective. I apologize. I apologize.
Yes, Mr. Goenka.
I'm just putting in perspective.
Please. Correct. Yeah. So as I start, when I started my remark, any violence condemnable, whether it is in NDA ruled state or the killing of Bharatiya Janata Party Karyakartas in Kerala, or selling of babies by the missionaries of charity, or the rapes of nuns by the pastors, everything is condemnable, and there is law which will take care of it. And I'm sure that the courts of this country and the police act in the total responsibility. So there is nobody who's acting beyond the responsibility, and we cannot jump the guns. So whether it is nun who's been raped by pastors,
to our viewers, or there
is a smuggler
who's
been lynched, all these guys are condemnable. We should condemn them with a single voice.
Okay, point taken. But to my viewers, I just want to address our viewers. When we are being told don't jump the gun, I get
Please
it. Don't
condemn
jump the
all
gun.
the violence in
What
single breath.
Condemnation doesn't mean anything to people who have lost their loved ones. It doesn't mean anything. What has happened in the Dadri Akla case? No justice has been done. No justice has been done. Why should I go all the way back to Dadri Akla case? I will read out what has happened in the Hapur lynching case. Vineet Goenka, it's my turn.
I have a question to ask BJP spokesperson.
1 minute. Yes, 1 minute, Mr. Gupta. I'm coming to you. It was my turn to address the viewers because this reality has to be exposed. Here is the pattern of the state governments who are cracking down on cow vigilantes. What happened in Hapur lynching? It was converted into a case of road rage and murder. Nothing to do with cow smuggling. No, not according to the police. According to the victim and his family, yes. According to the accused and the attackers, yes, it is about cow smuggling, about cattle lynching, but not according to the police. According to the police, it's a road rage incident. Those people who were accused and arrested are now out on bail. That's exactly what happened in Pehlu Khan's case. They went and found people. They put them in the charge sheet. They then said, no, we got the wrong people. These people didn't do anything. They're out now. Who killed Pehlu Khan? We don't know. But please, let's sit and talk about how all of these people are cow smugglers, who again the same state police has failed to crack down on all this while. So the job has been outsourced to the cow vigilantes who feel free to murder these people.
Can I come
yes,
in?
Rohan
Can
Gupta.
I come in?
No.
Can I come in, ma'am?
It's Rohan Gupta.
Can I come in, madam?
No, it's not.
Can I come in?
It wasn't a question, sir. It was a comment to my viewers.
Let me make my
it's
point
not a
now.
question. Rohan Gupta of Congress
patiently
now. Yes.
The way. Yeah. See, if we have to see this issue in a holistic way, ma'am, unless and until the government will have will and intention to control this kind of incident, they won't be controlled. We have seen whether it is Pehlu Khan or Akhlaq, many other cases, we have seen no action has been taken. Forget about the action. The people who are responsible for this kind of incidents, they are being felicitated by the union minister. What message people will take? On one side, you are not taking any action. On other side, you are promoting these kind of people. Your union minister says that the prime minister's popularity is increasing, so these incidents will increase. See, any law will not be able to control this kind of situation until it is strong will by the government to control this. My main point here is, your home minister says it's a state issue. How can it be a state issue? 85 incidents have been reported in last 4 years. You are not able to do anything. Neither you are able to make the law. When Supreme Court tells you to make law, you are saying it's a state issue. People who are responsible, you are not taking action. You are felicitating. What message you are giving? You cannot kill this kind of people on the road. If your government is not capable of delivering, let it be give it to other people. But how can you give it to law and order can be given to mob? You cannot justify. Whoever is responsible across India, I want to see this as a law and order issue rather than any other issue. And when it is law and order issue, the culprit is a culprit. He doesn't belong to any religion. He is a culprit and he should be punished. There cannot be any politics in this kind of issues. This message has to go across every individual of this country that if you take law in your hands, you will be punished irrespective of whether it is Congress government, BJP government or any government. But I don't see any kind of intent. The way BJP spokesperson was saying that in Pehlu Khan case, there was no evidence, that's why they were out. I think this is shocking.
No,
how can you make such comments?
He was
killed.
You
have to put
he was killed.
Culprits behind the bars.
Somebody killed him. If the police is so incompetent
Absolutely.
that they couldn't find the right people, then those policemen need to be sacked. Was that done, Mr. Goenka? Was that done in Pehlu Khan's
Absolutely.
case?
And today, police took 4 hours to take this person to the hospital. What is
Can
this?
I answer?
And one man
By
has
whether
been
it is
suspended.
Gupta,
Wow,
I heard you.
we
Allow
must
me to answer.
congratulate
Mr.
the
Gupta
Rajasthan
and Mr.
police
Ravi.
for taking
Please
such
allow me
great
to answer.
action of suspending
Mr.
4
Ravi and
people.
Mr. Gupta,
4
please.
people who thought it was more important to have a cup of chai at 3 a.m. rather than taking a dying man to
Can
the
I
hospital.
answer?
Why? Because he's a cow smuggler. Why should we bother? Yes, Mr. Goenka. By the way, if your police is not able to do its job, we have testimonies of those who have seen them beat up this man inside the police van while dropping the cows at the shelter. Please feel free to actually track down those eyewitnesses. Yes, Mr. Goenka.
I repeat, I say the same thing again. Any violence, whether it is against a female or against a cow smuggler, is not done. That is police. We should report to the police. We should actually come together.
Then why do you feel the need to highlight whether that person is a cow smuggler or not?
Allow me to speak, ma'am. Madam, allow me to speak. Miss Tanvi, allow me to speak.
No, the question is to
If you don't allow
you.
me to speak, I will not be able
The
to make
question is
sense.
to you. Why do, if you
Don't
think
override-
it is
Okay,
condemnable,
see.
why do you feel the need to say it in
Allow
the
me to
same
answer the
breath
first.
that
You
they are
have
cow
already,
smugglers?
you already have shot 5 questions. Allow me to answer. Allow me to answer.
I thought you were just repeating yourself. That's why. Go ahead.
In this case, you are also repeating the same thing. You are saying, what are you doing? I'm trying to tell you the same thing. In the Bhime Koregaon case, everybody was trying to say that this particular 2 people are culprit, including your channel, madam. And finally, what we found, it was somebody Ronu from, JNU,
What
who
you
was
found?
actually been arrested.
What you
So
found?
let the
How?
police
How?
investigate.
We didn't say anything.
let the
Again,
pull.
I am sorry, you may be highly mistaken about what the job of the media is. We don't go
You
about
can-
doing police investigation or filing charge sheets. We didn't file
Madam,
the
please
FIR.
allow me to
we
speak
didn't
and
file
make
the
one
charge
sentence.
sheet.
You are not
Not
allowing
in
me
the
to
Pehlu
speak
Khan
one
case.
line.
No,
I will-
because you
Madam,
are
you
now
have to allow me to speak
blatantly
one
lying
line.
on
You
my
have to allow
channel
me to
and
speak
I will
because
not
you override
accept
to
that.
speak. How
I
you
don't
not speak
care
then?
about which other media channel you are referring to. On this
But you will
channel,
have to allow me to speak.
we
You
didn't
have
go
called
ahead
me to
and
your channel.
file the
Otherwise,
FIR.
you should not have called
We
me,
didn't
right?
go ahead
If
and
you
file
don't
the
allow me
charge
to speak,
sheet.
then how
The
will I
Maharashtra
speak?
police
You are trying to
did.
put words in my mouth. No. Madam,
You
if have
are
called me,
lying.
please allow me to
Stop
speak.
pointing
No, this is
fingers
not
at
done.
us.
If you have asked me to a question,
We didn't
allow
go
me to
wrong
speak.
with the investigation. Your Maharashtra police went
Please
wrong
allow
with
me
the
to speak.
investigation.
You are not. No. You are trying to jump guns. I do not accept this, madam. Please. And one thing, Miss Tanvi, if you don't want me to call me, it's okay. But if you call me, please allow me to answer. You are not allowing me to complete one single sentence.
Just don't make false
What is
statements.
this? I mean, telling you there is a police investigation going on. There is a police investigation going on. Why are you trying to jump guns? Let
Are
the
you
police
done?
do the investigation. Let the
Are you
judges
done?
come do.
Are you going to
Why are you
repeat the
trying to
same
appoint
thing?
yourself as a police officer? Why are you trying to appoint yourself as judge?
Because the
Why?
police
You are
is
repeating the
unable
same
to
thing. I'm
do
not saying
its
that they are
job.
house smugglers.
Because
You are
the
trying to
police
say
is
that they are
unable to
because
do
police-
its job.
No, because they have been suspended.
Mr.
Why
Rao,
did you
good
see the
evening.
action?
Mr.
You are
Rao,
trying to
good
create a
evening.
narrative. I will not allow you to do that narrative.
Mr. Rao, good
Please
evening to you.
understand. Let
Law and order
them
to
investigate
reform.
properly.
Mr.
Do
Rao,
not jump
what
guns.
kind of
My request to
police?
you,
What
don't-
kind of
don't
police
jump guns.
now
And please allow your guests to
decides-
complete the
They are
sentence.
outsourcing law and
Tell me,
order
okay.
from the
30
mob.
seconds to Vineet Goenka. Finish your point. What is it? What new things are you going to tell me? Apart from jumping the gun.
I made my point, madam. I made my point. I made my point very politely.
Then
Let
don't
the police
complain
do the
about
job.
not finishing. You're
Don't jump
finished,
guns.
right? You finished your point, right? What were you saying? Go ahead.
I've done that. I'm trying to say that we'll have to criticize 33 incidences of firing by these cow smugglers. We will have to criticize the Jawan Deepak Kumar who has been fired, who died because the
Don't
cow smugglers
criticize,
killed
take
him. The
action.
incidences of
It's not question of
1,013 cases
criticizing now.
registered against this.
It is a question of taking action now.
Sir, please keep
How
quiet and
many
allow me
days
to
will you
speak, sir.
criticize?
Please.
Your
Geeta-
government
You
Geeta
don't have the
Luthra.
data. Please let me speak, sir. Mr. Gupta,
Geeta
you don't even
Luthra,
have
I'm
the
going to
data.
go across
Come
to
on,
Geeta
please.
Luthra. This is not a Congress versus BJP fight. Geeta Luthra, good evening. Thank you for patiently waiting. We've often had these conversations where we've discussed the need for a law, and Tehseen was also referring to that. But somehow, when you see instances like today, I wonder whether even having a special anti-lynching law will help when the police acts and behaves in such a way.
Yes, I actually think that the fact is that there is a lot of law in place which could be called into action including causing anybody grievous injury, having an unlawful assembly, having a criminal unlawful conspiracy. All these enactments, all these sections could come into play, and therefore one of the issues is, do you really need a special law? But you know, the similar to honor killing, they've gotten a new bill and enactment saying honor killing is bad because of the repercussions. Same thing happened when there was, there have been other, you know, there was Sati, and therefore this thing where crowd in Rajasthan many years ago actually stood by, watched it happening and didn't intervene. The need for legislation is really a need to make it a public understanding that nobody will go unpunished, and anybody who sits and watches, doesn't try to stop something like this from happening, does not intervene, is equally to blame and can equally be held liable. And so there are two requirements. One could be an enactment, even though there is enough law in place, because it will just bring the importance of this aspect into place. And the other, apart from the enactment, is how do you enforce it and how you make it public. So there should be in television and in media, the government should cover it in such a way that people realize, look, we can't be party of this vigilantism. We cannot be caught by a mob mentality. If we do, we will be liable. We will be punished. So one of the things the courts have said, we should have special courts. You should give punishment and conviction and trial within 6 months. All that is fine. But I think it's more important that people realize this, that there is a realization we are going to be liable. We cannot escape from a trial and a conviction if we are going to stand by and silently watch or participate or lose our sense of reason.
Right.
So I think the message has to be also educate people instead of allowing them to go retrograde. Where, in which part of the world, if someone's taking a cow, will you say, this man is taking a cow, this man is taking a child, this man is going to kidnap a child, this man is going to kill a cow, and therefore, and this is just your perception. So it's a mob mentality, and somewhere we have to guard against it.
Right.
And we have to keep educating our people against it.
Well, I agree with you. In many cases, what has happened is people have responded with fear and anxiety, especially when it comes to rumors about child lifting or child kidnapping, and I get that. But I honestly don't get it when people start responding to, by seeing a man travel with a cow, assume he's a cow smuggler and he's going to butcher that cow, and then resorting to violence to the extent of killing that man, making announcement in villages, calling people outside, cornering and attacking these people in small fields, in small forests at odd hours when they're traveling alone or with one single family member, and thrashing them in a mob, recording it on the phone, stating it why this is being done, and still managing to get away with it. That's what it has come down to, Mr. Rao. So what is it? Because they know they can get away with it, that the police is not going to come after them?
This is a very serious issue, and this hate crime should be stopped, and only the solution with the police as well as with the government is that they should take preventive actions, because as you rightly said, that unless and until the police will be vigilant through their intelligence network should be activated, and the mischief mongers and the persons who are really responsible for creating this mismongering and this mismessages to the mass public for announcing this, that the cow smuggler has been caught, a child a stolen person has been caught, and these type of persons should be identified by the police at a local police level, and the preventive action should have been taken, and all sort of preventive measures will be definitely should be it should be enforced, and the police officers who are found guilty for not complying with their official duties, and as in these cases are there delay in sending the injured to the hospital, and the persons who are responsible, they should be, as inquiry is going on, then it will be found out that who are the persons who are not really did their job well, and if they are not doing their duties according to law, and they are not investigating the case properly, they should be held responsible, and the punitive action should be taken. Apart from the preventive action, punitive action should be taken against the policemen also, and the persons who are who are stated to be the culprit of such a hate crime, they should not be scot-free. And secondly, after completing the very fair investigation, the investigation should be in a time-bound manner, and the same time is the trial should also be time-bound manner, and the punitive action.
The problem is, Mr. Rao, all of that.
There should be a lesson to the.
Yes, all of that is there on
there
paper, but there is no implementation. There is no implementation. All of that is on paper.
No. Implementation should be there. Whosoever is not implementing these orders, circulars, and they are not obeying the law, then they should be taken care of.
Okay,
by the
I see three hands go up. I know the BJP and the Congress representatives want to talk, and Tehseen also wants to speak. But very quickly, getting in a reaction from Sriraj Nair of the VHP. Mr. Nair, we understand that there was actually a VHP local leader in Alwar who first called the police and told them of what they suspected was happening here. He also goes on to say that when the man was handed over to the police, this man was alive. So what it looks like is that if the police had acted on time, this man would still be alive.
Well, Madam Tanvi, I cannot talk on behalf of the police, but I can definitely talk. As the spokesperson of VHP with responsibility, I can say what you said is right, definitely. We are a responsible organization, and we never teach our cadres to take law in their hands. So, but at the same time, we are very much duty bound to protect the holy cows. There is no question about that. We have never taken the laws in the hands, but our cadres have been trained to inform the nearby police station when cow smuggling happen or illegal cow transportation or illegal cow slaughter happens. There is a law in Rajasthan.
So you say when you don't take law in your own hands.
Butcher cows.
1 minute. Two things, Mr. Nair. Firstly,
Definitely.
do you have evidence?
Let me
do you have evidence?
You gave enough time to everybody.
Do you have evidence that this man was a smuggler? Because I do know he was picked up by the police few months ago, and he was let go. The police couldn't do anything about it. So how did this man die? Who thrashed him, Mr. Nair?
That is the police's duty.
Who thrashed him?
No,
you're claiming we didn't thrash him. Who thrashed him?
This mob was not led by any VHP or Bajrang Dal man. And second thing, Madam Tanvi, we definitely condemn any loss of life. We are a responsible organization. But again and again, whenever I have come to your show or your channel, I am always saying that particularly your channel has been cherry picking the incidences. We definitely condemn the loss of the life. In last 15 days, there have been 3 lynching that has happened. In Karnataka, a man was killed, suspected to do the child lifting. In Kerala, a DYFI boy was lynched. In Kerala, again 4 days back, a boy was killed by
so
some
Mr. Nair, whatever these allegations are that you think work for other media channels, go and make those channels there. Go and make these allegations there. FYI, for you, for your record, for your entire organization's record, this channel has repeatedly spoken on mob lynchings. We are the only ones with maximum number of stories and debates on mob lynchings. We have a campaign against mob lynchings, so don't you dare question my credentials. No, you will not do that. Go back and look at the number of stories we have done, including Kerala and Karnataka.
Please.
So, Ms.
Please,
Tanvi,
don't sit here and make generic statements. Tehseen Poonawala, please. Tehseen Poonawala. I don't want to get dragged into this nonsensical debate.
Thank you.
Let me come in for 30 seconds. Can I come in for 10 seconds?
No, Tehseen Poonawala first.
Tehseen bhai, before you speak.
Can you ask her?
Tehseen bhai.
Thank you.
Tehseen bhai, before you speak, can I speak for 10 seconds?
Please. No,
Tehseen ji, before you speak for 10 seconds.
Ma'am, when I went to the Honorable Supreme Court, I named every single state, including, and everybody knows I'm a Congress supporter, including Congress ruled states, including West Bengal, including Kerala. When Shashi Tharoor and KTS Tulsi introduced Masuka, which the Honorable Supreme Court looked at and suggested a separate law, it meant a law for everybody, from Jammu and Kashmir to Kerala, from West Bengal to Gujarat. We are saying nobody should be lynched. Not an RSS man, not a woman, not a Hindu, not a Muslim, not a Brahmin, not a Dalit, not a third gender. I don't understand where the whataboutery comes. The problem is when the VHP person speaks about Karnataka, none of the Karnataka ministers were either draping the tricolour on the accused or were garlanding the accused. Therein comes the problem that union ministers are not following orders of our own Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister who says that this kind of business must not happen. Union ministers are taking him for granted. Therein comes the problem that the Prime Minister is being let down, that the Supreme Court is being let down. That is the issue. The issue can be debated as Luthra Madam rightly said, whether we need a separate law, whether we need amendments in the CRPC, but we do need something modern to deal with it. Because I will end by saying this, ma'am, all of us sitting on this panel must reflect. Most of the people arrested are people who are foot soldiers. Those who benefit from these lynchings politically, none of them have been arrested. That's point number one. Point number two, it is youngsters who are being arrested. The average age of people being arrested for this is in the age group of about 25 to 40. We must understand why are young people indulging in the most barbaric act using absolute modern technology like social media, 4G phones, the latest gadgets. I think that is something as a country we need to reflect and ask ourselves, are we still a nation that follows Mahatma Gandhi's path? Or like Anand Kumar Hegde, our union minister said, we are here to change the constitution. I think we must reflect, all of us, on this.
No, so how does the law help? We have seen in the case in the Jharkhand mob lynching, where people were convicted. Now there is a stay on that. The court has given bail to these people and the minister has gone and garlanded them. How does having a tougher law really help when either the police puts up a weak prosecution case or the minister start encouraging that?
I'll quickly Okay, so in 30 seconds I'll explain to you, because in the Jharkhand case, which I was again involved with, and I know the Ansari family had gone and met them. In the Jharkhand case, what happened is the police deliberately filed a false case, just like in the case of Pehlu Khan. They do not accuse the actual victims who are named by the actual accused, who are named by the victims. They deliberately arrest other people so that the case weakens and so that these people are let off. This happens time and again. Why Masuka would help is because Masuka makes it incumbent on a district magistrate to vet the charge sheet and the IG of police to file the FIR. Now, therein, since the police are dealing not with police but with a district magistrate with no less than 7 years of experience, this kind of things will be prevented. That's the one section that comes in. Number two, there are also other mandatory SHOs, SOPs that come in. I don't have time to say it on your show. Therefore, Masuka would help. And it also gets into prevention modes.
Tehseen, the turn for Masuka, even if it has to be taken up as a law that must be brought in, will obviously only come in once the cow protection bill is considered and discussed. I mean, I don't want you to get your hopes up, but if the parliament is not going to give attention to this, cow protection comes first.
It's for all lynching. No, ma'am, because no, ma'am, because it's for all lynchings, including women being lynched as sex workers or die-ins or third gender people being lynched. It's already been introduced.
I apologize. I do agree. Sriraj Nair, I didn't give you
249.
Yeah, Tehseen, got your point. Sriraj Nair, 30 seconds to you and then to the Congress and BJP representatives. Yes, Mr. Nair.
Well, Madam Tanvi, I just want to put it forward. Now, there was a story which was done by the India Today. The other side of cow protection, attacks by meat mafia on animal activists and common citizens. See, do you know how many number of animal rights activists and poor common people and innocent Gaurakshas have been killed by this mafia?
Am I police?
Have you ever?
Do I look? Do I look? Do I look like the DIG or the DGP or some state to you?
Please don't do selective journalism.
No. Or am I the minister of your state?
Don't do selective activism.
No. Kindly don't do selective activism, Sriraj Nair. You kindly don't do selective activism. Why don't you go and do dharna outside the assembly? Why don't you go and do the dharna outside the parliament? Why don't you drag the policemen who are not doing their job to the court? Why don't you draw the police to the court on failing to do their job? Like I am questioning the police on them failing to do the job. Why don't you go and do that?
Responsible organization.
Why are you questioning me? Go and question your Sarkar. Your Sarkar is sitting here. Vineet Goenka. Vineet Goenka. This is amazing. Vineet Goenka. Not only are your governments in 22 states failing to protect the people, they are also failing to protect the cows. What are you guys doing, Vineet Goenka? ना तो आपसे लोग बचाए जाते हैं ना गाय बचाई जाती है. दोनों साइड के लोग खुश नहीं है. आज क्या हो रहा है? क्या कर रही है आपकी सरकारें 22 स्टेट्स में?
नहीं, हमसे ना सब खुश है मैडम, इसीलिए हमारी सरकारें आ रही है.
अच्छा, इसीलिए वीएचपी को जमीन पे वहां पे उतरना पड़ रहा है ना कॉल करने के लिए आपकी पुलिस को.
मुझे बोलने दीजिए, आप बोल लीजिए, आप पूरा बोल लीजिए. मेरा आपसे एक दरखास्त है कि मुझे सवाल पूछने का मुझे बोलने का मौका दीजिए.
You should praise our people that we are not taking law in our hands.
Yes, Mr. Goenka.
Miss Tanvi, I've been all these years been hearing one thing: terrorist does not have a religion. So why do we have a mob lyncher has a religion or he has an organization?
Who talked about the religion at all?
Mob lyncher also does not have a religion.
Did I mention religion?
Please allow me to speak.
Who spoke about religion?
Please allow me to make. Will you not allow me to make a point? I'm trying to make a point. No, please allow me to point. No, please allow me to make my point. I'm saying that. No, allow me to speak. Why are you trying to speak? You did not speak when the others were speaking in between.
About religion here.
Please, Tanvi, please have a courtesy to give me 10 seconds, please.
Make a factual point. No one spoke
about I'm talking about that. No, I'm talking about. Let me make my point. Please let me make a point, gentlemen.
Right.
Okay, Miss Tanvi, then let me not speak. Then let me not speak. If you're not allowing me to speak, if you want to conduct the meeting, if you want to conduct this chat like this, then let it be.
I am not saying anything.
Sir, did I complete my sentence? Please don't jump.
Who spoke about religion?
Let then Tehsil Pannawala speak. Then
okay, 10 seconds. Come on now, Mr. Goenka.
Sir, nobody spoke.
Mr. Goenka, nobody is talking about religion. Why do you want to make it communal?
Yes, you spoke. You spoke about it. None of us. Neither did Miss Luthra, neither the police.
Let me make my point, gentlemen. Please have a courtesy.
Please have a courtesy
to hear other person. Why do you want
to make this communal? We are not talking about
Miss Tanvi, please have a courtesy to hear the guest. Please. No. You're not talking. I'm making a point. I'm been what? Please hear me. See, you're so biased that you're not even hearing my sentence.
Just make a point.
I've been saying that all these years I've been hearing from people. Mr. Gupta, please shut up. If you do, it's my turn to speak now. Please shut up, okay? Don't act too funny. I can act more funny than what you can act.
You don't need to take that tone. Please go ahead and finish your point.
I made a statement, Miss Tanvi.
We are giving 30 seconds to Vineet Goenka.
Allow
Everybody
me to
else,
speak, Miss Tanvi.
please
this
allow
is unfair on your part. Okay. So all these years, I've been taught by all these people, be it media, academics, police or judges, that terrorist does not have a religion. So my request to you is, like terrorist does not have a religion, please do not put a religion behind the mob lynchers. Please do not put an organization behind the mob lynchers. These lynchers are bad element. We all should come and condemn that. So I'm not trying to blame anybody. Nobody said about communal. Please keep aside. Please allow me to speak. Secondly, the female techie who was attacked in Bangalore, who was protesting against the flesh mafia, who was trying to kill cows illegally. We have to talk about that. We also have to talk about how the female ratio has been improved in Rajasthan.
Today we are talking about what has happened now. Running out of time, last word to Geeta Luthra and then Rohan Gupta.
So we have to talk about. We have to talk about the GPS trackers being.
I'm running out of time. Please, I have two more panels.
I want to hear this point.
And Gupta ji, you have no right to speak on this because you created this divide. Gupta ji, Congress failed miserably in protecting these people. All these 70 years Congress did.
Yes. Can I hear the question? Yes, Mr. Goenka. Okay, Mr. Goenka, you've made your
will,
point.
This
Yes.
government.
Rohan, do you want to say anything to Vineet Goenka? And then I will ask my question to Geeta Luthra.
10 seconds for the first time in your show, Mr.
Let me have just 1 minute. It is a question of political will. This government
Why,
doesn't
Mr.
have
Gupta,
political
what did you
will
do
to
all the
take
7
action
years when
against
you
the
had
culprit.
Congress in this?
Number two,
Mr.
you
Government,
are
where is
talking
Rahul
about law.
Gandhi? He's just
BJP
talking about chicken
spokesperson spoke
Is
that
Rahul Gandhi
Pehlu
talking
Khan,
about
Okay.
because there was no evidence.
No. We can't do this anymore. We don't have the time. Very quickly, only me and Geeta Luthra, please, so that she can hear me. If we can just have Geeta Luthra and me on the screen so that she can hear me better. Geeta Luthra, are we only going to able to tackle this menace if there is genuinely a political will to act upon it? Is that the problem? Is political will the problem for any of the parties' side? I'm not saying specifically one government. The question is to Geeta Luthra, please.
See,
Mr. Gupta, where were you when the BSF Jawans were killed?
Yes, although I do believe that a political will is required, I think this mob, which, you know, the mob mentality which is there, it sort of can sway whichever way, because basically it's a group of violent people who clearly either have political or the mob mafia power behind them, that they can feel that they are protected by the police. So the moment that there is a feeling that the police will crack down upon them and that no one, even the common man, is not going to tolerate it, the moment that happens, irrespective of the political party, irrespective of the political will, you will be able to crack down. You need a vigilant citizenry.
Yes.
The moment you have people who are vigilant and caring, you will not have this, because they will realize they can't get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But till our police is strong, till our law and order is strong, I don't see it helping. There is no point saying it's a state subject. Law and order is every citizen's subject. It is the subject for all of us. If we see something like this happening, if only one man speaks up, it's not good enough.
Absolutely.
But if as a people we speak, then I think...
Well, what we can do is, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm completely out of time, so I'm going to thank my panelists at this point of time. But what we can do is, as people, show it to our political leaders that this kind of politicking is not going to help. If you think you're going to use a cow to divide us, if you think you can play the religion card by allowing people who do this to other humans, by allowing them to get away, no. As people, we need to change. As people, we need to stop falling into this trap of politics where we believe that cow protection or cow vigilantism or cow smugglers can be a reason to kill other people. The other aspect is, of course, the rumor mongering which is going on, for which we repeatedly have been here on Mirror Now asking state governments to come up with a plan to spread awareness. They aren't doing that. It's all about the political will. Rajasthan government wants us to to believe that they are going to give justice. There hasn't been justice done in the case of Pehlu Khan, who was lynched in a similar manner in April 2017, or in the case after that. And Rajasthan government wants us to believe it will be done this time. No justice has been done in any part of our country when it comes to cases which are related to cow vigilantism. And every time what we see is either the police gets the case entirely wrong right on day one, or goes back on its word and submits a case that is really not prosecutable. In most cases, victims are harassed on the pretext of being cow smugglers. Whether they are or not is never really proven. But those who attack get away, sometimes even get rewarded. One can only hope that after the Supreme Court's comments, the state government and the centre wakes up and this time sends across a message to every single policeman in this country that such incidences will not be tolerated. Completely out of time on this edition of Debate. Thank you for joining us.